5 Mead High School students are accused of assault after an incident that happened last year at a summer football camp.
So police reports show that it happened last June, but wasn't reported until the end of February, 8 months later. Since then, I've uncovered records that show at least 2 students were assaulted by their own teammates.
It's been a yearly tradition for the Mead High School football team, overnight summer camp held at Eastern Washington University. Last year it took place June 19th through 22nd, students in grades 9 through 12 staying in on-campus dorms. But it was off the field that some players say things got out of hand.
It started off with some hazing. The hazing had went from verbal and racial remarks all the way up to an assault or multiple assaults.
This man doesn't want to be identified, but he says he is directly involved with one Mead player who was targeted by older players on the team.
As more and more of this story came out, it was very evident that it was more than just hazing. There was more of an abusive side to this story.
But he says what is even more troubling is how it was handled by the school district in the weeks and months after. According to this case report from February 23rd, the father of one player contacted Eastern Washington University police about an assault back in June, indicating younger students were hunted down and targeted for hazing purposes by upperclassmen. The report states masked suspects came into one student's dorm room, grabbed another male subject, and began sexually assaulting him. Another police report from a different parent said the victim was held down by upperclassmen and sexually assaulted with a massage gun. This is cell phone video obtained by KREM 2 News from that night. We're not going to show you the actual assault, but you can see several teens holding someone down on the floor and this teen holding a massage gun. Both parents say this and other videos were widely circulated among Mead High School students on social media. They also both told police it was very probable more victims were also assaulted.
But nothing was reported to police until late February, 8 months after the Mead football camp. According to detectives, the Mead High School principal first learned about it on February 20th when social media videos surfaced showing the alleged assault as it happened. Now, authorities tell me the district immediately notified their school resource officer and also launched a Title IX investigation. And shortly after that, the Spokane County Sheriff's Office then took the lead in the criminal investigation.
According to state and federal law, anytime school officials become aware of an incident that could constitute sexual harassment, they must notify the district's Title IX coordinator. The district then has to investigate, and if it finds the harassment did occur, the school must take prompt and effective steps to end the harassment and eliminate the hostile environment. Mead school officials would not agree to an on-camera interview with KREM 2, but provided this investigation report saying the athletic director, John Barrington, received an email from a parent about 3 weeks after camp in July saying their child had a video that appeared to show an assault on a Mead player with a massage gun. But at the time, the school says the video only depicted laughing, shouting, and something resembling a dog pile. The district says it wasn't until almost 6 months later a different parent showed them new videos that officials say showed a much different and clearer perspective of what had taken place in the dorm rooms. On December 11th, Mead officials say the high school principal was notified about the video amid concerns that what had happened back in June may be bigger than they thought.
Are you concerned about how long it took for the school to notify parents about the video and what they had learned?
We're very concerned. Leads us to believe that the Mead School District staff was aware of it very quickly, actually had conversations within the school internally about the incidents, but for reasons only known to them, decided not to inform the parents of what they had learned.
What do you make of the portion of that report where it says the principal, Kimberly Jensen, had received the video in December, early December, but apparently didn't view it for 2.5 months until February 20th?
Well, you have to ask, why didn't you view the video if you were provided it? Aren't you concerned when you're getting parents reaching out to you that say that they're concerned about a sexually assaultive incident involving a massage gun that hopefully would raise more of a concern to a principal?
Marcus Sweetser is a Spokane attorney now representing 2 families who say their sons were assaulted during last summer's Mead football camp. He says in addition to that initial assault, the victims have also experienced continued harassment and retaliation by teammates.
I can tell you that one of the victims is no longer at Mead High School, and another victim has plans to be moving actually out of state.
What does that tell you about how this was responded to?
This incident is now a marker in time for this child's entire life going forward, the day that everything changed. And so what that tells me is these concerns were extremely significant and ongoing for these families.
Mead officials tell me they finished their internal investigation in late March, determining 2 students were assaulted during the EWU football camp on 2 separate occasions. Both incidents were reported as depicting the typical characteristics of hazing and, given the area of the body targeted, may represent sexual harassment assault. I asked if any of the students were disciplined as a result. District officials would only tell me each incident was dealt with on an individual basis, but admitted the videos showed a clear violation of the conduct expected from Mead students and athletes.
I don't think they did enough. And what I mean by that is when something as serious as this is going on, there needs to be an iron hammer. And so you have to, as a school, have to be able to understand that and have zero tolerance policy.
According to investigators, there was probable cause to charge 5 students, all under the age of 18, with 4th-degree assault. They determined there was no evidence of sexual motivation, so they did not pursue charges of sexual assault. And because none of the suspects had a prior criminal history and 4th-degree assault is a gross misdemeanor, they were all referred to a diversion program. That means the kids agreed to certain conditions, and Spokane County Superior Court agreed not to file criminal charges as long as they meet those conditions.
Now, 2 days ago, the district announced it is holding an open meeting for current and future football families to ask questions of district officials about this investigation. That takes place at the high school on May 13th. I'm also told the Eastern Washington University summer camp will take place again this summer, but for day trips only. The university tells me Mead students will no longer be able to spend the night on campus. And also here, just within the last 10 minutes, I have learned a 3rd victim has now come forward.
We would be a school to beat, and now we're a school that's been beaten. We're on the dumps, and it's because of a few poor, awful decisions of a few boys.
An organized walkout today at Mead High School with dozens of students saying it's time for district leaders to acknowledge repeated incidents last summer at football camp. Incident reports from Eastern Washington University Police state 2 students were held down by fellow teammates and assaulted with a massage gun. Today, students say it's time for those responsible to be held accountable.
It was sexual assault, and that's what happened. Oh, it's not funny. It's not a joke. This walkout isn't funny. It isn't a joke. It's for an actual meaning. It's fix it. Fix it now.
KREM 2 first revealed the police documents that show the incident happened in June of 2023, but wasn't reported to police for 8 months. Parents told officers their kids said younger students were being hunted down and targeted for hazing purposes by upperclassmen while they were staying at the EWU dorms during summer training camp. An internal Mead investigation report shows coaches knew about social media videos showing the incident from different angles as soon as 3 weeks after it happened, but said at the time it only depicted laughing, shouting, and something resembling a dog pile, and that it was hard to determine what was happening apart from horseplay or roughhousing. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office took the lead in this investigation and ultimately found probable cause to charge 4 teenagers with 4th-degree assault, a gross misdemeanor. But they never actually faced those charges because they entered into a diversion program, agreeing to certain conditions to avoid being charged.
I don't think that letting people who have committed crimes and getting charged legally for it should walk to school with other people.
It's putting all of these students at risk, and it's making us all feel uncomfortable. It's making it hard to come to school.
I asked Mead officials if any of the teens involved in the assault were disciplined, but was only told that each student's case was handled individually. Today, Mead students told KREM 2 that's not enough.
I have an issue with them letting the boys go run drills on the field for scholarships, like they still deserve and earned those.
The district told parents about the walkout through an email saying students have the right to express themselves and to peacefully demonstrate. The Monday walkout took place without incident and was over in time for students to return to their 3rd period classes. gross negligence and failure to act, two statements found repeatedly in this newly filed lawsuit against the Mead School District. 4 families of black students saying their kids were targeted by fellow teammates because of their race and suffering lifelong consequences because they claimed the district failed in its duty to protect them.
Yeah, the right thing to do when you get a report of sexual assault at a school-sponsored event is to inform the parents. The worst thing that Mead can do is bury the events, not investigate, even though they're getting explicit detail and video by email to their coaches, leads to a pervasive culture where this can happen again, and indeed, that's exactly what happened.
It all stems from this incident recorded on cell phone video from football summer training camp in June of 2023. According to court documents, a black student pinned down, legs violently pried apart, and subjected to an assault with a battery-powered massage gun. The claim continues, saying it happened to multiple students and that over the coming months, several black students endured intimidation and routine racial slurs, including the N-word, being called monkeys that should be leashed, and snitches. The lawsuit says multiple concerned parents reported to the Mead High School head football coach what was happening, but still, documents state the situation worsened. One player reportedly said one of the coaches knew about the assault but ignored their mandatory reporting duties. Instead, the student claims the coach told them they'd gone soft and that back in his day, they used a stick. Over and over, the documents claim Mead coaches and district leaders made no attempts to ensure the safety of the victims.
Our clients, they trusted the school district. They're deeply involved in the community. And to find out that they were betrayed in this manner, that the school district didn't even inform them what was going on, is incredibly serious. And it should be a concern to everyone in the community.
Also, according to documents, the Mead High School principal wrote in her investigation notes the incident was being downplayed because the victims were boys, writing, "If this had been a girl, we'd call it gang rape."
Gang rape. Is that very telling?
Clearly, within the district's internal documents, they were aware of how serious the conduct was, that they needed to investigate, that publicly they could cast this as horseplay and just boys being boys, when their own internal documents indicate exactly the seriousness of the offenses they were seeing on video.
This isn't how the school district should react. This isn't how the people that are entrusted with our kids should react. This isn't, they're not even following their own policies.
It wasn't until 8 months after the incident that district officials notified parents that their kids had potentially been assaulted. KREM 2 did reach out to the Mead district today for comment, but did not hear back.
And this is the second lawsuit filed against the Mead district for similar claims. The district now has 30 to 45 days to respond. At least 4 Mead football players have come forward saying they were assaulted and harassed by fellow teammates and that coaches and administrators did nothing to stop it. The initial assault happened back in the summer of 2023 at a football training camp out in Cheney at Eastern Washington University. Up until today, the district had insisted it did respond appropriately, but today that all changed.
Police records show a parent called EWU police in Cheney to report that a cell phone video showed a student being held down by multiple other teens and assaulted with a massage gun. Since then, more students have said it happened to them, more parents have reported their concerns, and multiple lawsuits have been filed against the district. This is the official report from the Mead district that was emailed to me this afternoon. It says Keith Stamps failed to appropriately respond to allegations of student misconduct and that he was dishonest with the district. In part, that report said his failure to inform district administrators about the allegations has had a detrimental effect on students, staff, programs, and the community. It goes on to say these allegations were left unaddressed for months, resulting in delayed Title IX investigations, delayed corrective measures for the aggressors, and delayed support for the victims, ultimately fueling a media firestorm, lawsuits, and calling into question the community's trust in the district. I spoke with the district spokesperson today. He told me Keith Stamps is no longer coaching or teaching with the Mead district based on probable cause to terminate his contracts. I'm told Stamps does have the right to appeal. They also told me today's decision came after another lawsuit was filed against the district in November that revealed a deleted email which included additional information and previously unreported allegations of student and staff misconduct within the football program. That included claims that students were held down while others used a massage gun and that one of the coaches knew about it and reportedly told the students they were soft and that back in their day, we used a stick. The report concluded with Mead Superintendent Travis Hansen saying, based on the findings, Stamp's conduct is unprofessional, inappropriate, flagrant, egregious, based on substantial poor judgment and a flagrant disregard of professional standards.
Now, I also spoke with a parent of one of the assault victims today. They told me they are at least glad to see the district is finally taking their concerns more seriously.